with the Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 3, Part 1, Chapter 16, Verse 11. We had completed till verse 10, in which the Lord, that is Narayana, Padmanabh Swami, he has come out of his house along with Lakshmiji, and he is meeting these four sages. These are the sons of Brahma. That is Sanak, Sanatan, Sanatan and Sanat Kumar. So when he meets them, he is apologizing to them for the behavior of his employees, like basically the Jaya and Vijaya who have insulted them, so called. So he is telling these four sages that he is extremely sorry and that he apologizes to them. So we had come to this particular point and stopped. I had given you an explanation of how this system works in this world. So today we are going to learn about what the Lord says after that and what these sages also say. This is a very important point which if we can get across in this particular session, we will try. So let us see. So we are doing Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 3, Part 1. This is Chapter 16 and we are doing this chapter called Jaya Vijaya, cursed by the sages. On the other hand, this is verse 11, on the other hand, they captivate my heart, who are gladdened in heart and whose these lotus face enlightened by the nectarian smile respect the Brahmanas, even though the Brahmanas utter harsh words. They look upon the Brahmanas as my own self and pacify them by praising them in loving words, even as a son would appease an angry father, or as I am pacifying you. Here the Lord Padmanabh Swami is telling these four sages that you are like my children, and somebody insulting you, it causes pain to me. So that is the reason why I have to apologize on the behalf of my own servants. And this is needed because as a father, somebody doing something naturally affects the father also, to the son. Somebody does something to his son, affects the father as well. So the Lord is telling these four sages that just because Jaya Vijaya has spoken rudely with you, I am sorry they did this and I am just trying to appease you. So pacifying them was very, very important. And you are a great devotees of mine. That means you are constantly taking the name of Narayana 24/7. And the most important part is you are enlightened beings. Where the term Brahmana is coming, please do not mistake that this Brahmana to be any caste or anything like that. Brahmana basically means the knower of Brahma, the enlightened beings. So the Lord, see, please understand, normal human beings can't enter the heavens, okay? And especially these the precincts of the Lord. Nobody has seen Narayana. Please remember this. And here in this scripture we have seen that the first time these four sages were able to see Narayana and Lakshmi in their physical aspect. Though they might have visualized them in their heart in meditation many a times, but to see the Lord in the physical form was very, very tough. So the Lord is talking to them and saying to them that I am very pleased with your devotion and that is the reason why I have been standing over here giving you the darshan. Alright? But I am very sorry for what my two gatekeepers have done, which is something which was not expected and was not supposed to be done. Because they have to be respectful to the knowers of truth. These servants of mine have transgressed against you, not knowing the mind of their master. I shall therefore deem it a favor done to me if you order that though reaping the fruits of their transgression, they may return to my presence soon, and the time of their exile from my abode may expire before long. So naturally, these Brahmanas have given a kind of a, shrap, kind of a curse to these two people, that is Jaya and Vijaya. And the Lord is saying, I am thankful that you have done something. But they need to go back and they need to redeem themselves. So you have to do it fast. Now, why does he say these words? Why does it have to be like that? Why does it mean that they have to do it fast and they have to go and they have to suffer for it and then come back again? Here the Lord is not saying that they are supposed to go and never come back. Are you getting the point? He is saying that these employees, I have to call them employees because he calls them servants of mine. So these employees are basically meant for guarding the gates. And when they are away, they have to also come back fast. So between this time frame, now here we are discussing something which is very unique. Again, like I said, time frame. Now what is this time frame? For us, the time frame is in years. We calculate time in years, days, months and all that. Whereas the Lord is concerned, it has nothing to do with this kind of a time frame. See, our time frame is dependent on the setting of the sun and the, rising of the sun. That is, these are the two factors taken into consideration, and the movement of the earth. Right? So how much time does it take? So an entire day's cycle, 24 hours. This is how we have seen. And then going around the entire periphery, that is the sun, it takes 365 1/4 day. And this is what we know. And this is what we have experienced. But if we go to other planetary systems, is it the same over there? No. But the yardstick, what is the yardstick over here? We are going to use this yardstick, which is called the earthly yardstick, isn't it? So whereas measurement of time is concerned, we are going to consider the earthly yardstick. So where does the Lord stay? Very important point. So what is his day and night? I hope you are getting the point. It has nothing to do with the rising and the setting of the sun. It has nothing to do with the planetary motions. It has nothing to do with the universe, the way it is moving around. There is nothing like that. There are no reference points. So the time factor which is considered by the Lord is not at all valid on earth. A simple example will give you an understanding. Let us say, I am just giving an example. If a mosquito stays alive for 48 hours, for him, from birth to death is just 2 days. I'm not saying he lives for 48 hours. I'm just giving an example. See, when I give an example, it is for you to understand how time factor works. So for him, the entire birth to maturity to having children and dying happens in 2 days. 2 human days. But in his world, in that mosquito's world, he could have lived for 100 years of his, isn't it? It will tell you something very strange. He might be saying, I am 100 years old. What is the factor that he has taken into consideration? For him, is there any sunrise or sunset? No. For him, is there any earth moving around certain planets? Nothing. So what is his reference point? So time is a relative term. Time is in relationship to every creature. When they say the first man lived for 75,000 years or 100,000 years, and you really wonder how did that happen? Which planet was he staying on? Was he staying on Earth or which planet? There is no way of knowing. If you go to YouTube and you search in the YouTube, you will find that There are channels which say that this moon is not our moon. Okay? This moon was trapped by this solar system from another place. From another planetary system, this moon came hurtling over here and we trapped it. And how many years ago did this happen? 12,000. Only 12,000 years ago. You really wonder, is that true? We don't know. The time factor is such a strange phenomenon. Now, there is so much of, froth in this world. Every civilization says that they are the oldest, they are the oldest, they are the oldest. You think Indians are behind? The Indians also say we are the oldest. Can you show us documented proof? Oh, we have written data. Okay. Sure, you have written data, but when was it written? 2,500, 3,000, 3,500 years ago? Yeah. Was there any written data available for 7,000 or 10,000 years ago? So there is no actual proof of anything. When people say in Christianity that 6,500 BC or 6,000 BC, I don't know, the earth came into existence. What is the reference point? I mean, this time is a very strange phenomena for everybody. And so when the Lord says that these people will go and come back. So where are they going to go? If they are going to go like mosquitoes and come back, then what happens? So there is a problem, isn't it? We have never actually analyzed this situation. I want you to think about it. Some of you have seen some movies, recently there was this movie of Prahlad and Hiranyakashyap and all that. I mean, I want you to use your common sense. Now, the creation of this particular entity, Hiranyakashyap, and he lived for X number of years. How many years? 1,000 years? We don't know. In some scriptures it will be written that he lived for 1,000 years. I agree with you. Chalo, let us agree. In somewhere it will be written he lived for 100 years. And Prahlad, he was his son. And he might have lived for 100 years or 1,000 years. Now, the Lord came into the picture. He came out of the walls, and stood in front of him and tore open the stomach of Hiranyakashyap and he died. What is the age? How soon did it happen? If I normally take into consideration, it should not take more than 5-10 minutes, isn't it? So the entry and exit of the Lord is how far? 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, 1 day, 1 year, that's it. So when he came and he went, this by itself is a very strange phenomenon. So if he came, where did he stay? See, these are questions, and these are questions which are very valid. You need to ask them. Why was this like that? We are blind folks, absolutely blind. We don't even want to go and ask these questions because it is going to hurt the sentiments of thousands, or billions, or millions, God knows. Why? What is this? What is the meaning of this sentence? So what is this time frame again? So when the Lord is telling these 4 sages that they may expire before long. See, my presence soon. They may return to my presence soon, and the time of their exile from my abode may expire before long. So they can go and come back in the blink of an eye. Is that the punishment that we are talking about? Do you get the point? The punishment, can it be in the blink of an eye? So what are we talking about? So he says, these servants of mine have transgressed you, not knowing the mind of their masters. Naturally, Jaya Vijaya should have had used a little brain of theirs to understand that these are sages and they need to be allowed inside. But they were using the yardstick which the Lord had created. Okay, do not allow anybody inside. Do you remember any other story where something like this happened? It's a very famous story. And because of that, the head was chopped off. Isn't it? The mother says to the son, sit outside and do not allow anybody to come inside because I am taking a bath. And Ganesha sits outside. The father comes and says, I have to go inside. This is my house. I am going to meet my wife. And Ganesha says, no, she is my mother and I don't know who you are. And my mother's instructions are not to allow you inside. Isn't it a similar situation? At that time, Ganesha's head is chopped off by the father. And Parvati comes out and meets him. Says, what have you done to my son? Isn't it? So isn't this the same thing? Transgression. So what is valid? What is valid? Was Ganesha doing the job? Was Jaya Vijaya doing the job? Yes. So was Ganesha's head chopped off? Yes. Was that right or wrong? Don't know. Jaya Vijaya got cursed to become Hiranyaksha and Hiranyakashyap. Was that right or wrong? Don't know. This is called a moral dilemma. A moral dilemma even in the heavens. What heavens? One is in Kailasha, same story in Kailasha and same story in Vaikuntha. Do you see the point? And now you may say, it is not the same story with Brahmaji. I'm sorry, you have forgotten the story then. Brahmaji's head was chopped off by Shiva, if you know. He had 5 heads. Now he has only 4. So there is something here strange going on. When we look at all this, these stories are very strange to understand. And that is why it requires a spiritual master to give you a knowledge and understanding. You may read this story from whichever book you want to. You will not understand a damn thing. Simply because you are reading a story and you have never questioned it. Why did Narasimha have to take that avatar? Can he not come like Shiva in a very normal avatar? I mean, think about it. Shivji came and chopped off the head of Ganesha. Did he have to create an avatar for himself so that he can lop off his head? No. There is something there. Spirituality is a question for all of you. You really want to grow in the world of spiritual, you need to ask and you need to have these questions and think very carefully on them. What is the meaning of these words? It's very easy to sit for these bullshit satsangs conducted by all the other people in the world. I don't know what they are talking also. And Sri Ram came and he did this and he did that. All right, okay, I understand. That is for a common man who doesn't even care for spirituality. He's just a yes man, yes man, like how these Jaya Vijaya are. Yes sir, I will do that sir. Yes sir, I will go to temple. Yes sir. But this scripture is telling you to question everything. You better question it. So, let us see, verse 13. Brahma continued, even though the sages have been bitten by the serpent of anger, their souls were not satiated with hearing the Lord's lovely and illuminating speech, which was like a series of Vedic hymns. The Lord's excellent speech was difficult to comprehend because of its momentous import and its most profound significance. The sages heard it with open ears and pondered it as well. But although hearing, they could not understand what he intended to do. This is where I was telling you, you need to question. Even the sages like Sanak, Sanatan and all, they don't even want to question. First and foremost, if you are a sage and a saint, in the Bhagavad Gita, is it not written that anger is the doorway to hell? Sri Krishna says these words, isn't it? Anger is the doorway to hell. Why are you getting angry? And why are these sages in front of the Lord? And that too, the sages are angry? I mean, what does your spirituality teach you? Go ask these questions. Nobody has asked these kind of questions. Every line has a deeper meaning. That is why these sages themselves are fox. They are saying, what is this? I don't understand. The sages were bitten by the serpent of anger. Why are they angry? What is this ego all about? You are sages. You are not supposed to be angry. And inherent nature. See, please understand. Some people are supposed to have inherent nature. The person who has inherent nature is driven by the nature to become angry. Isn't that true? So suppose you have an angry husband or an angry wife or an angry child. Do they require reason for getting angry? They don't require any reason whatsoever. They see some situation and they can get angry for no rhyme or reason. Suppose you leave the phone on the table and go away, they will get angry because you left the phone on the table. While you are drinking tea, okay, one drop spills on the, mat. Can you not drink properly? Why is the tea spilt on it? Can you see these kind of idiots exist in this world? For no rhyme or reason, they get angry. It's not the right thing to do. Why should a person be angry for the stupidest and the silliest reasons on earth? I have to ask this question. What are the table mats for? When you go to a restaurant, you take that cloth and you put it on your lap, or maybe sometimes you tuck it in over here. For the children, you have to do that, isn't it? You mean to say that is not supposed to get dirty? It has been given for certain reason, isn't it? Because you seem to spill from your mouth or somewhere like that, and it is supposed to fall. So the table mats, are they cleared in a restaurant? Normally restaurants will have something which is a permanent mat below, but on top of it, they will have those temporary mats made of paper or something like that. And after the food is over, after the table is cleared, do they take away those paper and those things away? Yes or no? So the mats have been kept over there for dirtying. Are you getting the point? then why are you getting upset just because the child is spilling something on the mat? Isn't it true? So we all have this kind of an anger which has come to us. For no rhyme or reason, you are wasting your life getting angry. And because of your anger, you are destroying the life of other people. Just because the four sages are angry, the four sages, by the way, they are supposed to be enlightened sages. The four sages are angry, they have gone and buggered up the whole world by the creation of two demons. So you think your anger is not responsible for creating demons like Hiranyaksha and Hiranyakashipu? Ask yourself this question. What is the reason for your anger? There is no need. When a person is angry, they create hellish regions for others. Are you getting the point? Think. The disruption in the world happens because of these kind of dangerous tactics and the nature of this person. And that is the reason why he is asked this question. The Lord's excellent speech was difficult to comprehend. These spiritual meanings of these words, it is not easy to understand. If there is some person in this world who says, I understand all these things, that guy must be the biggest idiot on earth. Because nobody can understand why this is happening. It's very easy to say, yeah. No, yeah over here. Because of momentous import and the most profound significance, it is teaching you something very deep. Is there any scripture anywhere on this earth where the meaning of these words are given? Which saint or sage or great master has given these words? Nobody gives you the answers. They just read from here and tell you, oh, like this happened. No, there is a meaning. And it has to mean something for you. Are you getting the point? Otherwise, some bullshit story given somewhere, and what meaning does it carry for you? Okay, I went and saw this movie. Great. Mission Impossible. Are you going to be hanging upside down like Tom Cruise or what? Are you going to save the world? You can't even shave. And you want to save the world. What you are talking about it? So this kind of stupidity exists in our world. So knowing the import of these words is so important. That is what I said to you yesterday. The knowledge is missing from here. And the reason for knowing this is important. And I normally don't give these answers during the course of our satsang. Because book is important, I will do the book and I will go ahead. But if you want the answers, you have to be after the satsang sitting over here and asking me these questions. Otherwise, there will be no answers for you also. You can be drifting in your world like any other person. Alright, the sages heard it with wide eyes open and pondered it as well. They also thought about it for a moment. But look at the funny part about these sages. They are not even going to ask. But although hearing, they could not understand what he intended to do. They had no idea what he was going to do. The four Brahmana sages were nevertheless extremely delighted to behold him, and they experienced a thrill throughout their bodies. Then they spoke as follows to the Lord, who has revealed the multi-glories of the Supreme Personality through his internal potency, Yogamaya. You are watching a film with very good sound, music and this and that. Idiots go to watch movies, especially spiritual films. And they come out and they say, Such a beautiful film. I saw Narsimha Deva and I cried in the movie. That's an average, below average person on the planet Earth. He has no idea, no meaning, no understanding of the subject. He's like a child eating a lollipop. I like my lollipop. The brainless idiots will watch these kind of films having no meaning whatsoever. The questions that you need to raise is, why was it like this? Everything needs an answer. Spirituality is called in search of truth. What is the truth? Why are you not trying to find out the truth? Why did Narsimha Dev come only for that time being and after that he disappeared? Should he not have stuck around over here? Question it. What is Ganesha doing today? Question it. Nobody questions. Where is Shivji found today? Is he sitting in the Himalayas? According to historical data, Himalayas were formed a couple of million years ago. Before that, there were no Himalayas. So before that, where was he sitting? Are you getting it or no? You know, the tectonic plates, they shifted and they banged against the Asia and the mountains were created, which is called the Himalayan mountain range. So if Shivji was sitting on that mountain, which is called Kailasha, what was he doing before the tectonic plate shifted? Why are you not asking these questions? And who is this great sheikh in this world who can answer this? Nobody. And that is the reason why spirituality is not for amateurs. It's not for amateurs. You really want to know the answers, you have to go deeper into the subjects and try to find out the answers. That is the reason why looking for the answers is so important. So these four sages, they are also bewildered. They also don't know. They are completely, knocked out. So what do? Oh yeah, I don't want to get into this subject. Very difficult. Got it? General theory of relativity. I don't understand. Jane do na. Why do I need to bother? Spirituality is not like that. Please learn. If you are a serious student of spiritual, you have to know the answers to everything. So, then they spoke as follows to the Lord who has revealed the multi-glories of the Supreme Personality through the internal potency Yoga Maya. The Lord creates this magical world around us. Nobody knows the answers. This is called the world of illusions. His power potency is called Yoga Maya. It appears like that. Magic. The sages said, "O Supreme God, we are unable to know what you intend to do for us to do. For even though you are the supreme ruler of all, you speak in our favor as if we had done something good for you." Now this is the strange part, isn't it? The Lord is asking for pardon from these four sages, and then he is smiling on top of it and saying, "I am very happy you said this." I mean, imagine your nose has been cut by somebody and you are going to apologize to that person, and yet you are smiling and you are saying, thanking him and saying, "I am thankful to you because you raised this thing." But that person called you an idiot, you know that, no? Really? So these four sages are very confused, thinking, what is this? The Lord is talking something and he is doing something and he is saying something. All very confusing. We don't even understand what he is doing. So you are saying something which is favorable, like, as if it's something good happened to this world. What is this thing which has happened? Okay. Oh Lord, you are the supreme director of the Brahminical culture. You are considering the Brahmanas to be the highest position, is your example for teaching others. Actually, you are supreme worshipable deity, not only for the gods but for the Brahmanas also. Here these four sages are acknowledging. They are saying it is near impossible to understand why you do things like this. Why is a poor man poor all his life? Why is a rich man getting so many watches and thousands of, cars and all that? Why does he get so much? Does anybody have an answer? Why is somebody suffering throughout his life? If someone has a cancer, that person also has this and that and so many other hundreds of other things, isn't it? What would you say? Why is he suffering? No idea. Why are things going wrong in this world? Why are there wars? And why are wars going on for so many years? Think back. I want you to think back. How many years did the Vietnam War happen? Many, many years for no rhyme or reason. Israel has been fighting for how many years? Donkey's years, There's no way of knowing also why they are fighting. Finally, today we have come to an understanding. I don't know, I don't understand. Something should have been done, isn't it? What? No idea. Okay, Vietnam War hasn't happened for many years. Okay, fine. Then what has happened? Oh, retrospection if I were to do, today Vietnam is the biggest supplier of garments and other things to United States. Is it? Yeah, all things are made in Vietnam now. And every country in the world, on this side of the world, India and say Australia, Japan and every other country is sending so many tourists to Vietnam. Vietnam is flooded with tourists. Amongst 4,800 islands in Indonesia, only one island is Hindu, rest everything is Muslim. And that island has got 20 million tourists. For what reason? God alone knows. Do they go for temples? No. They go for drinking and all the other things in the world. Are you getting the point? So what has Bali done? Bali is now stopped giving visas. They are saying we will think about it and let you know. Why? Because there are too many tourists. They are coming and dirtying our place. Why is that happening? God knows. Only God knows the truth. Got the point or no? Nobody knows. So here also, in the world of Vaikuntha, nobody has any clue why God is doing these kind of things. You are the source of eternal occupation of all living entities, and by your multi-manifestation of personalities of Godhead, you have always protected religion. You are the supreme objective of religious principles, and in our opinion, you are inexhaustible and unchangeable eternally. Mystics and transcendentalists, by the mercy of the Lord, cross beyond nescience by causing all material desires. It's not possible, therefore, that the Supreme Lord can be favored by others. The goddess of fortune, Lakshmi, the dust of whose feet is worn on the head by others, waits upon you as appointed, for she is anxious to secure a place in the abode of the king of the bees, who hovers in the fresh wreath of tulsi leaves offered at your feet by the same blessed devotee. Doesn't this sound very strange to your ears? These sages don't even want to know the answers. Why? They are saying, Lord, you are the greatest, you are the greatest, you are the greatest. We don't want to know. We understand you are the master of religion. Everything happens for a reason. You also, I'm sure you have also heard these words before. Everything happens for a reason. What are the reasons? Only God knows the reasons. Why is Mahalakshmi sitting at his feet? Nobody knows. But is she praised by all other people? Yes. Does the Lord have money? No. He is standing over there waiting for people to give him money. Isn't it? Is Narayana standing on that Tirupati hill also and waiting for people to give him money so that he can pay for his marriage? That's a strange one. And his wife is the goddess of fortune. Why is he borrowing from outside when he can ask her, make some money and I will give it to your father? No. One of the strangest things in the world, I was watching one small clip. In that there is one YouTuber, okay, and this guy is very famous, so famous that he is today become a billionaire. His current valuation is $2.1 billion. How much? $2.1 billion. And he says, I don't have any money. I am continuously borrowing from people. He became a billionaire in, I think, less than 5-6 years. Mr. Beast is his name. Okay, he started candy bars and this and that, and today the fellow has no money. His valuation and his amount of money he has earned is 2.1 billion. It's a big amount of money, isn't it? You will not even know how many zeros are there to see. So question is why? What is this? Why did this happen and how did this happen? So here also the biggest question in the world of spiritual is, why is Lord like this? Why is the Mataji sitting at his feet? Lakshmi Mata, she is sitting at his feet. Whereas the whole world is praising her and praying to her and saying, Mataji, Mataji, give us money. So, people are anxious to secure a place at her feet. What to do? So, oh Lord, you are exceedingly attached to the activities of your pure devotees. Yet you are never attached to the goddess of fortune, who constantly engage in your transcendental loving service. How can you be purified, therefore, by the dust of the pure path traversed by the Brahmanas, and how can you be glorified or make fortunate by the mark of Srivastha on your chest? So the sages are really very, very puzzled. They are saying, see, from your feet Ganga comes. We put the Ganga on our head so that we get purified and we drink water from Ganga. Alright. The goddess of fortune is sitting at your feet. The whole world is praying to goddess of fortune. Please give us money, please give us wealth, please give us this, please give us that. And you are thoroughly detached from her. She may be sitting at your feet, you are not even looking at her. I mean, if you have a wife like that, a very beautiful wife, who is money and everything is within her, will you not even look at her or what? It's a very strange phenomenon, isn't it? Why are you detached? Why are you not doing something? The Lord, you are so detached from her. You don't even care for money. You don't even care for anything. She can give you as much happiness, the whole world. And yet you are saying, this is a very strange thing. Yet you are saying, my dear Lord, that the feet of the devotees is what, the dust is what you are seeking, and you put it on your head. This is a very, very strange statement. So can you please tell us how, why, and how these statements really work? So we have come till verse 21, and today we will stop over here. Tomorrow we will conclude this whole chapter.